Which other techniques do you find add value to myofascial release and working with voice, swallowing, or managing pain and discomfort?
Okay, I'm going to take the old reins on this one at the start.
Yeah.
So I think that mobilization, cavitation of joints is a very beneficial way of freeing up certain areas. I tend to operate from the thoracic spine down and no cervical spine mobilizations. There is a neurological effect when we cavitate a joint. There is a muscular reflexogenic effect when we cavitate a joint. And although the research says that the muscular effect surrounding the joint is temporary and really very temporary, we're talking like I think 4 minutes to about 24 hours. The neurological impact of you having been clicked and cracked can make a real lasting change. For example, I mobilized a scapulothoracic joint on a client a few weeks back who was a tennis coach and a part-time singer, and it was his, I don't know what you would call it, but the ball arm as opposed to the swinging arm, and so we mobilized the joint, and the issue he had, which was a kind of above a C, seemed to even out with the treatment and with that, and who's to say that manipulation was what championed the whole treatment, but I think that's a really beneficial thing that I use.
Yeah. I'll answer the question two ways. What other techniques do I find value? Some of them I don't do myself. I think works like Feldenkrais can be really fascinating for movement awareness, changing the way one moves and the way one perceives one moves can be really useful, not just for the singer, but for people in general. And there's so many other kind of somatic-based therapies like that, and I'm kind of a one-trick pony. This is what I do, but I also know the value of a lot of those other modalities or ways of thinking and approaching the person and their nervous system. And I love the Feldenkrais approach because it's more nervous system based. As a physical therapist, people expect us, well, we need to do, they're going to expect me to teach strengthening, which I don't do. I encourage movement. I encourage getting the person back into joy, into activity, into exercise if that's it, but I don't work from you're weak, that's why you're having these problems. And that, there's an overstatement of the traditional physical therapy and training type model where it's all about weakness, but it does tend to get compartmentalized to say, okay, you're weak, so if we strengthen you can somehow be able to support your neck better. That's a really fuzzy narrative there. Exercise is useful, but don't say it's all about weakness, right? It's really, we're trying to get them to move more, move better, move with less fear. Singing is movement, right? Can I get that person to sing with less fear? And I think that's the real goal versus we need to strengthen them, right? And I know that there's, for instance, with tongue issues, whether it's post-radiation or developmentally disabled tongue issues, there's tongue exercises, tongue strengthening, and as if somehow we get these little tiny tongue barbells that people work with, right? And I mean, I'm being a little silly, right? But strengthening is so multifactorial, and it's not just how much weight you can lift or resist, but it's the awareness through the central nervous system that happens. And it's not, I think strength is a manifestation of, yes, building the muscle itself, but also building the higher centers of awareness. And to me, I think that's the work that I teach. That's the work that I do. It's less about the thing we do with that particular tissue. Name it fascia if you want. And it's more about creating a meaningful therapeutic dialogue with my patients that they can connect to their symptoms in a way that they can then have a different outcome.